Thank you for joining us on your Saturday evening. I'm Holly Emery, and I don't understand why that's popping up right there, but that's okay. We're going to figure that out. Okay, here we go. So we have a couple different things we need to update you about this weekend. First off, with developing news out of Yazoo City, where police are investigating after animal remains were found in a cemetery. Now, you might be wondering, Holly, why are we talking about remains in a cemetery? Well, earlier this afternoon, police thought that those were possibly human remains. So this is what we know so far. Yazoo City Police Chief Terry Gann tells us that the police were notified of remains found at Glenwood Cemetery around 2:15 this afternoon. Chief Gann says a group of people were holding a funeral at the cemetery and were going to lay their loved one to rest when one of the people in attendance found remains near one of the graves. Chief Gann says the remains appeared to be a piece of a hand and an arm, and that's why the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations were called out there to assist. Now, luckily, it was simply animal remains after MBI did a little bit of work at the scene, so no further investigation at this time. But that's why you might have seen that notification earlier about remains found in the cemetery. Police thought they were human, turned out to be animal remains. Now, we're going on to a developing story we've been telling you about for the last week. A Germantown student tragically was shot and killed in Jackson earlier this month, and he was laid to rest earlier today. His name is Saleh Ghassan Humaid. He was 17 years old. Again, a student at Germantown High School. He was shot and killed Friday, September 20th, near Sunnyvale Drive and Sandalwood Place. Now, the family buried him earlier today. This is video of the funeral that they held, and they're seeking answers from Capitol Police who are investigating the shooting. Humaid was laid to rest Saturday afternoon, where hundreds of his friends and family came out to say their final goodbyes to him. Many of Humaid's family shared their emotions upon hearing that he had been shot and killed in Jackson. Take a listen.
Makes no sense. He's just a 17-year-old kid has a great life and just loves other people, and he didn't do nothing wrong, and they just decided to shoot him for no reason. He was a 17-year-old kid.
Now, the family told us that they are demanding that Capitol Police quickly arrest those that were responsible. Again, this is an ongoing situation, so if you have any details that could help police, please contact Capitol Police. And with me now is Anae. And Anae, we have had some very nice fall-like weather lately, and I'm very excited about it. You know, we've been talking about fall for a while now.
Yeah, and now it's finally here, thankfully, not only just by the calendar, but also by the weather, the conditions that we're seeing, as well as in the Atlantic as well. September is usually peak hurricane season, and we're definitely seeing a lot of activity right now. Hurricane Umberto has strengthened to a Category 5 throughout today, and the good news about that storm is, though, we do expect it to stay out to ocean. I don't know if are we having issues with the graphics?
I'm having a little bit of issues with the graphic.
Maybe
you can help me out here. We're just looking at this thing. We have
I usually have it on the weather show settings.
Yeah, I don't. Let me see. Give us 1 second, but Anae's going to talk to you a little bit about the weather. It's been really nice lately, and we have had stuff going on in the tropics lately.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of dry weather here, and I want to start in the tropics because it has the most activity. Here, our temperatures were around the mid to upper 80s for afternoon high, and that's pretty much what we're going to see throughout the weekend.
There we go.
But this is what we're looking at in the tropics. Hurricane Umberto. It's definitely a strong storm, major hurricane, but it's staying out in the Atlantic. Ocean swelling could cause dangerous sea and surf conditions over the parts of the East Coast, but we're not expecting a direct impact from that. But it's a different story for a tropical depression that we have in parts of the Caribbean. This is Tropical Depression number 9, and it is already expected to drop tropical storm conditions across the central Bahamas. But another thing, area of concern is that not only could it bring tropical storm conditions to the eastern coast of Florida, it could also strengthen to a weak hurricane, Category 1 hurricane, and make landfall on the coastal Carolinas. But once again, that's just one model run that we are seeing, expecting the storm to possibly become a hurricane by around Tuesday. However, since it has not formed yet into a tropical storm, our models are still kind of all over the place. There's not a lot of agreement yet. While some of these models are showing the storm making landfall in the coast of the Carolinas or coast of Georgia, others are showing it turn directly back out to sea. So it's still all over the place. But this is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on because it could affect the southeastern United States. Now, we're not expecting anything in the Gulf Coast. So the Mississippi coastline, not expected to take a direct hit. But either way, we are expecting lots of heavy rainfall in the coastal Carolinas and potentially eastern Georgia as well. Even if the system does not make direct landfall, notice it's pretty close to the East Coast. So we're going to get some heavy rainfall in parts of the eastern United States. Now, not here in Jackson, not here in central Mississippi. Not expecting that rain, but that's something that we're going to be watching.
So that line right there, I just want for clarification. So that line right there that's pointing to Jackson, that's just one.
That's one model.
That's one model, but
yes.
most of them are going that way. I just want to like clarify what that one line was coming right out.
That's just models. They're all over the place. And that it wasn't even like that this morning. That one was kind of showing it more just going to Georgia and then a little bit further towards the north parts of North Carolina. So I would not be on high alert for central Mississippi. Most of the model runs haven't been indicating we're getting a direct hit. Yeah, that's not it. However, a lot of forecasters are kind of concerned about the potential for flooding, lots of heavy rainfall, mainly along the East Coast and in the Carolinas, is something that we want to be on high alert for. But of course, we are going to have more details as we get closer to time. Once the storm actually forms, the tropical storm, then we have a better idea. It's pretty close to doing so. It'll likely be around that strength by tomorrow because right now our sustained winds are in the storm. They're about 35 miles per hour. You need 39 to be a tropical storm. So, and it is still strengthening. But thankfully, we're seeing much more calm weather here. Our first alert radar shows that we haven't seen pretty much anything. A little bit of cloud cover in some areas, mostly not though. Beautiful conditions across the area. That high pressure that you notice to our north going to continue to travel towards the east and just going to build into our area. We're going to stay calm and dry. We're finally back in the 70s already. We were in the mid 80s earlier today, but it's cooling off. It's going to be a cool evening. It's going to be a mild weekend, although we will have a brief heat up. In our 10-day forecast, we can see Monday and Tuesday. They're going to be a little bit warmer, back in the upper 80s to lower 90s. But then we expect a dry, cool front to come back and bring our temperatures back into the low 80s in time for the state fair. So we're going to have a beautiful weekend.
It's going to be very nice for the state fair.
Yes, and for the weekend ahead as well, we're expected to stay mostly dry. Isolated showers do return midweek, but we're still going to see dry weather for the vast majority of the area. So not great for the drought monitor. We're still below where we need to be for rain. But at least we're also a little bit below typical for temperatures for the end of your next week.
I know more people are excited, especially me, are more excited about that. But yeah, we do need the rain, so that's what Tuesday's for us in the end, I guess, towards the 10-day forecast.
Yeah, and you know that's pretty far out.
I know.
So it'll likely change, but we need some rain. But since we're not getting it, go ahead and enjoy the kind of fall-like weather that we're seeing. Mid to upper 80s, perhaps 90 degrees briefly for Monday, but then once again, it'll cool back down.
All right. Thank you for that update, Anae. And again, we do have some fans that have joined us again over the last couple of weeks. We've got Miss Bridget Lewis, who she said, thanks for keeping us informed. You know, that's our whole point of doing these on the weekends, to keep you informed, quick on social media of everything that you need to know as far as news and weather. So thank y'all for tuning in on your Saturday. We'll be sure to update you tomorrow evening as well, so you can stay tuned and you'll see Anae and I for Sunday evening. Have a great rest of your Saturday night.
Good night.